Okay, so the next concept is OOPS concept. So we call it as OOPS or object oriented programming. Okay, everything will be the same. So what is object oriented programming? Okay, so if you see here, object oriented programming is mainly for classes, object. So these are the two terminologies always you are going to be hearing. So why we need to use OOPS concept? So OOPS concept is mainly for improve the code readability, reusability. Okay, so readability, reusability. So what does mean that? When you're talking about readability, your code should be clean and neat. The second thing is whatever the methods, variables, or classes you're writing, that should be reused. So you should not write the same functionality again and again. If you write it, your entire project will be having redundant code. So that is not the best practice anymore. So what you need to do? First, you need to check that is the same kind of logic is anywhere written in the your project. If it is used or someone is written on that same, you can simply reuse it. Then your effort will be reduced, and as well as your code lines will be less, and at the same time your programming improvability will also good. Okay, and your code will be having non-redundant code. So these are the different kind of advantages we'll be having when you're going to use object oriented programming. So coming back to the class and the object, so class is nothing but, as we learned earlier, it will be having a set of statements within a class. The statements might be variables, methods. Okay, so this all will be having a structure. So class is specifically telling that a structure of your logic, whatever the logic you are going to write it. So object is anything that might be a any object, that means any sort of class related information you are making a object notation that will be using into your program. So coming back to that, in OOPS there is a constructor. So constructor is important one in object oriented programming. Whatever the class you are going to write it, by default JVM at the backend whenever the compilation time, so automatically Java is going to write one constructor. So let's see that backend in your program. See here, you are writing a modifier example, but you have not written any extra code for this one. But when you see the particular associated bytecode, this one, compiler is going to add some extra lines of code. So that extra lines of code is nothing but a constructor. So here the constructor will be having different types. That might be a default constructor, that might be a parameterized constructor. What does mean the default constructor? What does mean that parameterized constructor? We'll see it one by one. So public class, it's just a my class, public static void main, string args, sout, hello world. Let's take this is one of the example. So this example, you're trying to display hello world. So what will happen at backend? So let's put it as some example for it's a my class.java is the file name. So what will happen once it get compiled? So once it get compiled at the backend, public class my class. So inside it's public my class of public static void main string. Okay, likewise it's going to be created. So this file name will be my class. So this is source code. Whatever you see in that left side, this is source code. This is the one is the byte code. So if you observe, there is some extra lines of code added. Our Java code is having only public static void main, but bytecode, if you see here, this piece of code extra added. Who is added this one? This added by the Java. So that means if you are not defining any of the constructor, so this one call it as a constructor. Okay, so constructor, what kind of constructor it is? This is default constructor. Okay, so default constructor means whatever you are going to use this one. So here the default constructor means there is no arguments. See here there is no parameters inside that. So when you see this kind of, that is called it as a default constructor. So if you're not written any of the default constructor, automatically Java is going to create whenever it is compiling that. But one thing here inside the default constructor, you can see there is extra line is added, that is super off. So what does this mean, that super off? So usually the super means internally how it, this one again internally I have my class. So who is the super for this one? So for this one the super is object. So there is one more class, that is object. So object is the parent to everyone. So that means if you write any class, so parent is object class. Okay, so object class is the another class that is parent to all the classes. So this is parent and a child relation. So in this one, super of means it is saying call it object related constructor into my class. That is the one thing. Let's come back to your program here. See that object information. I'm just opening object class. Object.java. See here, this is object. This is one of the class. It's a default class. It's from lang package. So this lang package you don't need to be import it. So that is the reason when you are going to write anything, you are not going to be import this lang information. So internally, if you see modifier dot to string, if you just use this method, toString, who is the parent, where it is written, this written from object class, but you have not written anything in the toString, your modifier example or modifier private example, but simply you are able to access it. Where this particular method came, it came from object class. How it came? Internally, modifier is having like this, extends object. So every class, whatever the classes we wrote so far, internally JVM is going to be allocate like this. So that means object is the parent to everyone. So whatever the program it compiler is defined, so this default constructor, it's used superof. Superof means object class related constructor. It is invoking into my class. So when you execute this program, how the lines will be executed? The first thing is it will execute from beginning to ending. The first it will come here. So how this is coming? Again, if you come back, you are going to write it like this: my class new class of. So when you wanted to use this particular my class, you are going to write it like this. So what does mean here? This one is object creation. So this piece is nothing but a constructor. So my class of is a constructor. So internally my class of constructor will be like this. So when it is running, when you write this line of code, what will happen? First this line is executed, then it get into that, it will be having super of. So object class s- constructor is going to be invoke. But what kind of constructor do I need to invoke from my parent? So here it will invoke object default constructor. Okay, so that means if you see object here, so internally it should be having a constructor. So let me check that. These all are the object related. Okay, so this is predefined methods inside the object. So this object will be having a constructor. Okay, so the default constructor, obviously JVM will be provided if it has not written anything. So internal object default constructor is going to be invoke when it is super off. So then this line will be execute. When this line is execute, your controller go to object class and that default constructor will be invoking and completing this line. This is what it will happen when you use this line of code. The next thing is you can call a specific method, like if you want to my class dot, in our scenario main method is there, so it will be invoking like this. Okay, so this is the way it's going to be run at a backend. So come back to your program. Here modifier is there. So this modifier, you are not written anything, simply you are concentrating on your logic. So backend it will apply like this. So what is the use of this constructor? So constructor is mainly for if you have any initializations. So that means when you are going to use your logic, before that if you require any sort of information, so that kind of information you will keep it into the constructor. So during object creation time, those initializations will be live when you are going to use your logic. So that is the main intention of the constructor. The next thing is we have a parameterized constructor also. So this is default constructor. How the parameterized constructor looks? So let me clean this one, whatever the stuff you have. The next thing is parameterized constructor. So parameterized constructor will be like this: public my class int a. So here, 1 second, this is not working. This dot a equal to a. Okay, so this parameter, like whoever is calling this particular constructor, so that object notation will be, let me close this one. Object notation will be like this: my class new my class of 10. So like this you need to be. So when you write like this, what will happen? This is parameter, that means argument you are passing. The value is 10. So this 10, first it will look into this bytecode. Is there any particular parameterized constructor? Yes, it is having. So this one is going to be invoke with the value of 10. So that 10 will be assigning to this one, and you are going to write this dot a. This dot a means this class should have int a. So this means current class. Okay, current class, inside wherever it is having a, apply this a to this class, this, sorry, to particular variable. So this particular class is having int a. Whatever the constructor is giving this value, assigning, then this a value will be accessible across this particular class. Okay, that is the significance for this. And this particular my class is going to be used. So that is for parameterized constructor. When you are going to use a constructor, it has a set of rules. What does mean that rules? Whatever the class you are going to write it, let's take here my class. The constructor name and the class name should be same. See, my class is the class name, and constructor name also be same. Okay, and the method, if you see that, it has a different name. M is main method. Okay, it's not same as the class name. The second rule is allow modifiers. So here the allow modifiers for this one, here public, private, default, protected. So only these modifiers can access apply. The remaining, we have different kind of modifiers other than access modifiers. So none of them will not be applied for this one. So if you see this method, it has static, void, public. Public anyway we discussed. Public will be applied for constructor, but static, void, nothing will be applied this a constructor. So there is no return type. So constructor, when you're going to write, there is no return type. So but your method is having void. Void is one of the return type value. Static, it has applied for method, but constructor should not apply. The next thing is there is no return type, already we discussed. The next thing is this and super. So this and super only allowed in the constructor level. If you use other than that, it will not be accessible. And one more thing, this and super always will be the first line. What does mean that first line? If you see this particular default constructor, super of will be the first line to that. If you use the super of the next line, in between, if you write something, it will fail. The next thing is this of will be there. What does mean that this of? Okay, so here you have two kind of constructors. This is one of the constructor one, and the similarly one more constructor at here. This is parameterized constructor. So you can write n number of constructors within the class, but signature, whatever the constructor parameters you are passing, it should be different. Here integer I am passing, so I can write one more constructor, That is, let me write it here, public my class int a int b. So I'm writing this dot a equal to a, this dot b equal to b. So we just discuss about super and this. So whatever super or this you are going to use, it should be a first line. You should write like this. If you write it this super at end of that, your program will fail. Okay, you should not write like this. Always it will be here. The next thing is this. What does mean that this? This is nothing but you are calling constructor. So here how many parameters it has? It's two parameters. If you want to call this single line parameter like one parameter, you have to call it this of a like this. So that means two line parameter, it's parameter argument 1, argument 2. If you want to use single line argument constructor, you should use like this. And internally here, you can call this default. So how you can call it the default? This is the way. Again, come back to here, write it this off. So the flow will be, if I pass it one more entry, let me just move it away. If I'm going to pass it two parameters, comma 20, like this. So 10 comma 20. So that means two argument constructor. So my controller will go to here 10 comma 20. Then internally I'm calling this constructor. So this will invoke this one. So after that, this is going to be invoke my default constructor. Like this, the flow will be. When you use this, this means within the class, whatever the constructors you have, you are going to be invoking. When you use the super means it's outside of the class, but it should be having the relation. So the relation is parent child relation at here. It's my class parent is object. So that super class related constructor is going to be invoked. So that is the difference between this and super. So that's the same thing I explained it here. The next thing is constructor overloading. So overloading is nothing but same name with different arguments. So if you see here the constructor, it is default there is no parameter set here. This is called default constructor. It's 0 parameters, 1 parameter, 2 parameters here. Okay, and another thing we call it as arguments also is 1 argument, 2 argument. Okay, so this kind of scenario is called it as constructor overloading.